So, this work. Filing's still going on.
News, Talk 640, WFNC. Man, we're podcasting.
Yeah, we are. And the podcast goes in a variety of platforms. But I love this on YouTube. I'll stop now.
That's okay. We're on YouTube and also on my Facebook page, which has 77,000 followers. And we're lucky to have Paul Overton in here with the City View. Glad that we've missed each other a couple
Yeah,
times.
it's been a little while. You were on vacation, things like that.
I got sick too at one point, and you guys were knocking on the door, and nobody was in here. Were you out in the parking lot, or
When you were sick,
I mean, did you ever come up here and you couldn't get in?
well, not when nobody was here. It's just sometimes the door was locked, and the door was open this morning. So
Yeah, it's over. There you are. We're glad to have you here. Glad to have you there for the affair. And I'm pulling up 2 cameras right now, so you can see the dual action. And we're going to get to the point we can put 9 cameras in here.
Getting high tech.
Yeah, with this software, we're going to have one dedicated to the beautiful face of Kenny Hitman McLean.
Yes, who's
And
who's no longer in the neck brace.
no, he's got the neck brace
He
on
does
now.
still. Okay, I couldn't even tell. So okay.
Yeah, but in the meantime, between time, we're glad to have you here. Been a lot of stuff that's been going on that you guys at City View have been all over.
Yeah, it's a busy time, and so City View News, we cover the daily news here in Fayetteville. My big story from the other day was in the North Carolina General Assembly elections. We have State Senator Tom McGinnis, and he is being challenged in the Republican Party by a fellow named Ray Daley. And Ray Daley has been pretty harsh on Tom McGinnis on some topics in his campaign ads and his comments on social media. And so Tom McGinnis had his attorney send a letter to Mr. Daley saying, cease and desist, to stop it. And he threatened, he implied that he was going to possibly sue him for libel, and suggested that he might even prosecute him, he couldn't prosecute him, but that Mr. Daley's comments, he claimed Mr. Daley was telling lies, and that put Mr. Daley in violation of a North Carolina law that says that you're not allowed to lie about someone in order to make it harder for them to win an election.
Well, and now, all that said, politics is a combat sport, is what they say. Mm-hmm. And you've covered a lot of folks, a lot of stuff been said, and what's always interesting to me in the political race is the 11th hour thing that comes out that the opponent doesn't have a chance to dispute or settle, and that's part of the combativeness of the election cycles.
Of course, right. Well, that does often happen. Although this time, actually, we're still in the filing period. The filing
absolutely.
period is going to be running until Friday at noon. So, and so far, actually, no Democrats, to my knowledge, are seeking that seat. At least as of Friday evening, they weren't. So
Was it set up so that a Republican would probably win it?
It is, yeah. So this district is designed to elect a Republican candidate. It was very hard for a Democrat to win this seat. And conversely, our other state Senate seat is the one that Senator Applewhite is in. And that one is designed to elect a Democrat.
And she's unopposed right now.
Yes, you're correct. I just looked it up this morning.
I'm on top of things, Paul.
That's
You're
right.
not walking in here with some rookie here. I know what's going on here in America. Pretty much.
So here's the thing. So on this Tom McGinnis versus Ray Daley situation, back late November, November 26th, Senator McGinnis's lawyer sent a letter to Mr. Daley that Mr. Daley received on Thanksgiving Day, saying, stop these reports. And he was upset about Daley was making an allegation that Senator Tom McGinnis promised people over the years he would never vote to expand Medicaid. And for those who don't closely follow, Medicaid is the government health care for lower income people. And as part of Obamacare way back when, 15 years ago, he created the Obamacare created, the Affordable Care Act created these, the Obamacare insurance, where you go onto a marketplace and you can purchase insurance. And if you can't afford the full premium, you would get some government assistance in helping you pay for the premiums. And but then for people who are even further lower down income, who were not able to afford insurance and who were not already on Medicaid, the program said that, well, let's expand the qualifications so some more lower income people could get it. And the North Carolina chose not to participate in that. This back like in 2013, they voted, so we're not going to do that. And it's been a big battle between the Democrats and Republicans for like the last 10 to 15 years. And finally, a couple of years ago, the Republicans said, okay, we're changing our mind. We're going to expand Medicaid under certain conditions. And Tom McGinnis voted for the expansion. It added like 690,000 people who previously probably weren't getting health care insurance to the rolls right here in North Carolina. And so, Daley says Tom McGinnis broke his promise. Well, Tom McGinnis's position is, I never made a blanket promise. I said I'd be okay with it under certain conditions, and he feels like those conditions have largely been met now, so he voted for it. So that was the first point. And the second point that Mr. McGinnis is upset about is that he's saying that Daley is telling an untruth about McGinnis's support for some legislation that would make it harder for local governments to regulate developers. And in Moore County especially, development has been a big controversial issue as people like to, the residents a lot of times want to retain their small town charm, but the community is growing and they need housing and need shopping, and so they're building apartment buildings and single family home neighborhoods and strip shopping centers, and Daley's kind of throwing it out there that McGinnis is supporting this kind of in their view, largely unchecked growth. And McGinnis is like, he says he's not doing that so much. So that's what. So now there's a threat of a lawsuit and a threat of prosecution. Now here's the thing, though, on the law. Several years ago, Josh Stein, when he was running for Attorney General, Josh Stein's the governor now. But back in 2020, when Josh Stein was running for Attorney General, he's running against District Attorney McNeil from Forsyth County. O'Neill, not McNeil. Jim O'Neill claimed that Josh Stein broke this law about lying about your opponents. And it went through the court system, into the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. They looked at that law and said that law is probably unconstitutional. So if anyone were to pursue Mr. Daley on this law, which says it's a misdemeanor to lie about a political candidate in order to hurt the political candidate's winning an election, the Court of Appeals said it's most like a violation of the First Amendment freedoms under the Constitution.
There's a lot there, and you got a lot of in-depth reporting. How responsive have they been to you in terms of actually answering your questions about this, or is this all peripheral stuff?
I have to say one thing you got to say about Tom McGinnis. He answers his phone when you call him. Not every time, but most of the time. Maybe he's busy. If you catch him when he's busy, he won't answer. But
his representative normally answers if he doesn't.
What's that?
His representative normally answers.
Well, I call his cell phone.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. So he's. Tom McGinnis is very accessible, and Mr. Daley is very accessible by telephone also. And I had good conversations with both of them about this.
Well, it's going to play out in the courts, possibly.
Well, here's the thing. Will it? It's one thing to send a cease and desist letter. It's another thing to actually file a lawsuit. That is a major step. And are the things that Daley said truly defamation and libelous? That's what it comes down to. And so that's I don't know. It's the question is, will he actually file? We'll have to see. I asked Senator McGinnis if he was going to file, and he's basically it's not decided.
Okay, if you're just joining me, I've got Paul Wolverton here with the City View magazine, and you come in. Was it every other week? I think
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, and we missed you one week here, so we're glad we're getting back on schedule here right now. We're going to hold you over because we brought you in a little bit early because we're trying to make up some time since we missed stuff, and you got a bunch of stuff that we can talk about.
Bit, yeah.
Stand by for a second. We're going to be right back with you right now. Kenny, give me some right now traffic.
Now traffic, everything's looking great, everything's cleared up. The schools, well, they've already dispersed, parents are going home or back to work or whatever. So yeah, I don't have anything back to you, sir.
Okay, we've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
After a frigid start to the morning, today will be sunny and remain warm with a high of 56. Overnight, the weekly will low down to 22, and Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 49. After this cold start to the week, we do start a warming trend with high temperatures eventually reaching the 60s, possibly flirting with 70 degrees by the weekend. That's your favorite forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. Right now, still 18 degrees in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also in Godwin. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC.
Either location, Fayetteville or Aberdeen.
I'm learning how to punch the two cameras out.
So the mics aren't on.
Yeah, mics are. Listen to commercial. But
Okay.
what else you got?
We
That's
got
interesting.
Well, we can talk about who's filed for office, and we can talk about the that weird thing in Godwin. You saw that?
Oh,
So
I'm
the
sorry. What was thinking?
so Godwin. So Godwin, 160 people, right?
Yeah. You mean election stuff?
The election stuff. Yeah. Dennis Smith Sr. says that he's owed a new
Oh
election.
yeah. This is the basketball guy's father. Yeah.
And he claims there were some shenanigans by the town clerk
Right.
on election day.
Yeah.
And
Where they were calling around telling people to vote
she
for
was
so and so.
well. She texted.
Yeah.
She texted. She admitted she texted two people. And the thing is, okay,
And she's an election official.
no, she's not an election official, but she's town official.
Town
She's
official,
town
right.
clerk.
Right.
And so she said she texted from the bathroom that morning on election day to say vote for all of the incumbents, and she's not really
Well, what's
supposed
Dennis Smith's? Why has he got a dog in this fight?
He's running for office.
He's running. Okay.
Yeah, and he lost by 5 votes. And if 3 people had voted, if 3 of the 5 were affected by her texting and might have voted for him, that means he'd have been in office. But he lost. I mean, so with the 5 vote margin, you only need to flip 3 to flip the results of the election the other way.
Right.
So
Well, the question is what she did. Was what she did against some policy or law?
it's against the law.
Yeah.
It's against the law for a town official to
Influence.
while on duty do any kind of campaigning. So what's this say?
We're going back. We're coming back there. Keep going.
Just a little sweet tea if you want. So.
News Talk 640 WFNC. We're just having a ball this morning with our podcast of Good Morning Fayetteville on Facebook and on YouTube as well.
We're everywhere.
We got millions of people looking right now.
That happens
We
sometimes.
got Paul Wolverton in here with the CDV magazine. You know, some of the best conversations happen when we're not on the air. You're just
yeah.
talking about stuff that's going on. You got this thing up in Godwin that happened that
Oh,
you're
yeah,
covering.
yeah. Yeah,
You want to
so-
talk about that a little bit? It's Junior Smith.
So
and
Godwin,
Senior.
yeah, Dennis Smith Sr., who is the father of the basketball player from Fayetteville, Dennis Smith Jr., he has residence in Godwin, and he was running for the town board of commissioners in Godwin. There's 4 commissioners plus a mayor, and he lost by 5 votes. Dennis Smith Sr. did, and there weren't that many. There were only like 45 voters total in that election. It's a tiny town, 160 people.
So what's the allegation?
Well, the allegation is that on election day, the town clerk, that she, while on duty at the office at town hall, on the morning of election day, texted several people and said, told them basically vote for all the incumbents. She said, "Good morning, hun. I didn't have a chance to call you earlier, but if you are voting today, would you please vote for George Cooper, Joseph Smith, Ronald McNeil, and Scarlett Hall?" And those are all the incumbents. "We would like to keep the board with the same commissioners. Thank you for support. Love you, girl." So the town clerk, she texted that, and she testified. This is Jacqueline Cooper Kelly, the clerk. She testified recently at a hearing that she texted two people that morning, 10:29 a.m. on election day. And here's the thing: there's a law that says town employees are not allowed. I mean, they can support people in an election, but they can't do it while they're on the clock, and they can't do it from town, from town property, from the office. They have to do it on their own time in their own place. And she did this that morning from town hall on election day during work hours. So she's not supposed to do that, but she testified that she did. And Mr. Smith is of the opinion that her text, which she says went to two people, affected the outcome of the election or could have affected the outcome of the election, and therefore he should get a whole new election in the town of Godwin to give him another chance to get on the board. Because again, he
what's the Board of Elections saying?
Well, the Board of Elections had a hearing. It was kind of like a court type hearing, a quasi judicial type hearing. People had to be sworn in and all of that. They said that she admitted to texting to two people, but the margin of votes was 3. The margin of votes was 5. So Mr. Smith was 5 votes short of winning. And they said that texting two people, even if both of them were affected, it wasn't enough to change the outcome of the election. And because that would require 3 people to be affected by her text. And on top of that, they had information that at least one of the people who received the text said she received the text, but it didn't affect her decision making. So the Board of Elections is looking at, do we need to do an election over? Their job is not to go after the town clerk. Their job is to look at the evidence and decide if the evidence is sufficient to do over the election. And they said locally, no, there's not enough evidence to do over the election. So they're not. So the local Board of Elections said we're not going to do that. But Mr. Smith gets to appeal, and he told me he's going to appeal it to the North Carolina State Board of Elections to see what they will say on whether Godwin has to do its election over.
Wow, wouldn't that be something?
It would be.
That'd be a pretty big deal. Man, you're on top of this election stuff.
Yeah. By the way, for those who don't know, Godwin is a very small town in the northeast part of Cumberland County, off I-95 around exit 63.
Look, but folks know Godwin, because that's where D103 FM used to be, up in Godwin. Look, I don't have a camera on Candy. Candy, no. Where's Tish?
I will give you there is kind of an unfortunate landmark near Godwin. If you're driving on I-95 north of Fayetteville,
big flag,
you will see a big Confederate flag,
right?
And that is very close to Godwin.
And I've done countless stories on that private property that individual has every right to fly that flag.
Yes,
he's got barbed wire and fence around it and everything, and he puts a new one up every so often when it gets worn down. So, yeah, it's his.
That's his thing.
He can do what he wants to do out there, but the thing that Godwin is known for is D103 FM. Well, stop it, Kenny.
Well, there's also the mayor's. You've met the mayor of Godwin, Willie Burnett.
Yes,
yeah, he's a fun guy.
He is a good guy.
Cowboy hat.
Yeah, let's play the feud. That's right. Well, look, you do a lot of politics stuff here. We got to the 19th here in terms of the.
So this coming Friday,
right.
Yeah. So if election 2026 is
people
underway.
wanted to know if I was running for county commissioner, and there's some folks who that rumor was out there.
Well, you put it out there a year
I
ago.
did. Okay,
You were in the News and Observer.
Was I?
You told me.
Yeah, I did tell you. But look, things change in life. And so saying it and doing it based on what's happening in your life. I tell you, my wife had a lot of influence on saying we don't think we should do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if mama's not happy, nobody's
happy. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes.
Okay, but there are other people who are running. Troy McDuffie's out there in the lobby right now. He's running for sheriff. We're
He's
going to have
one
him in
of
a
4
second.
people running for sheriff.
That's right, and I've got to give equal time here.
So we have, So I'm looking at the list right now. As of 4:56 p.m. this past Friday, here in Cumberland County, we have 4 Democrats running for sheriff, and they are Demetrio Perez, incumbent Sheriff Jonathan T. Morgan, Troy McDuffie, who's the former police chief in Spring Lake, and I think was he also in Red Springs too, right?
No, Hope County with he was
Those
Hugh
with the sheriff's
Repeater-King.
office too. But I
Hugh
thought,
Repeater-King.
well, we can.
Were you with Red Springs? Or just, yes, he's shaking his head, yes.
Okay, yes, before Hope County, I think. Yeah.
We're going to get him in here in a minute. Okay.
And then Joseph Baller, and I don't know who Joseph Baller is, but he filed on Friday. So you'll probably have to get him in too.
Well, and who's the other guy? I call him Disco 5-0 that ran last time. He was ran against
Ennis Wright?
Ennis Wright. I can't think of his name.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, he has not thrown his hat in the ring yet.
And so far, there's no Republicans running. And if no Republicans file, that means that this election will be decided in early March with the primary.
Right.
So if you want to run for sheriff, or
You got till Friday.
Noon Friday is the deadline for a sheriff and many other seats too.
Well, the thing about it is Morris Bedsole ran. You remember that whole debacle of that?
Yeah.
He voted for himself.
Well, he was supposed to be appointed. Yeah,
Right.
so way back when, I guess in the 1990s, there was a vacancy in the sheriff's seat.
Right.
And when that happens, the Board of County Commissioners appoints the new sheriff, which is what happened this year with Jonathan T. Morgan. Sheriff Ennis Wright retired, and the county commissioners appointed Jonathan Morgan. And here's the thing, Ennis Wright endorsed Jonathan T. Morgan,
Not anymore.
but not anymore. That's
He's
darn
endorsing
interesting.
Troy McDuffie.
Yeah, so if you can get Ennis and ask him why he changed his mind.
Well, I know, but I'm not. I'll see if what Troy says.
Okay.
He's going to be in here second.
All
But the
right.
point is that you have until the 19th to file for any office. Kenny's giving me all the hand shines. What do you got, about a second or so? Okay, I'm going to give that minute to you and close out. What do
All
you
right.
think is
Well-
important for us here?
Well, again, so we're tracking all of the election filings this week at City View. And the other news, we got a county commission meeting tonight. Again, many other things are coming. You can look up all the news from City View at cityviewNC.com. CityviewNC.com. We also have our City View magazine, which is on newsstands all around town. We have, I guess, a December holiday issue out there. And then if you'd like to get the City View newsletter, you can get an email newsletter for free every morning. You just go to cityviewNC.com and you can see a link for subscribing to the newsletter, and it will, again, it's free, and 6 days a week we send you the news at 6:30 a.m.
All right, we appreciate you. All you do, Paul. Thank you so much. We'll be looking for you. And again, Kirk Deviere will be here tomorrow on Good Morning Fayetteville, because whenever they have a meeting, he comes in the next
He'll have a
day.
lot to talk about.
Absolutely. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got local news right now from CBS 17.